something like that.
Well, okay, I got to see, because there must be something going wrong, because I haven't seen a score yet. It'll shine the yellow light, so I hadn't figured that out, so I just kept on writing, and it'll tell me. So I haven't got the scoring yet to understand that, but I did implement that when Melanie told us to on one of my blogs. I guess maybe I haven't got it optimized to the highest level it should. Maybe I've got something blocking there because I haven't seen that score yet.
Yeah, it should be right below the blog post in the back in your dashboard. Mm-hmm. Okay. In the dashboard. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Someone else have a question? Because I heard someone say something and let me kind of jump in. Yes. Hi.
Yes, my name is Dr. Elke, and I just finished my book. It's called God's Armor Bearers and Handmaidens, The Art of Serving God Through People. And I wanted to put together a media kit, and I wanted to know your input on, this was my plan. These are the things I wanted included in the media kit. I wanted a DVD of a trailer advertising the book and also my speaking abilities, and a professional reviewer, a letter with that information, and also a book. Now I wanted to mail it to churches, but you also mentioned in this telecast about getting yourself on radio and TV shows. So how do you recommend that I also send that information to the radio stations and TV shows?
Not unless you have a platform, because they're going to look and see if you have a platform. Because the way what you just described was probably the way I did it like 10 years ago, but it's changed with social media. So a lot of times radio and TV stations are looking online for guests, and based on their website and how many hits they're following and Twitter and Facebook, even their ranking on Amazon, that's what they're going to go for. They're looking at your online brand and your online world. You can mail it to them, and they'll turn around and they'll Google you. And if it doesn't show any traction of anything, they throw it right in the trash.
Okay.
Because they get thousands and thousands a week. So they're looking for the ones that have an audience, that have a platform online. So, yeah, it's good to mail them to the radio and TV, but only if you have a relationship with them, only if they've asked for them, because there are 500,000 new books a year. So you've got to figure out a way to stand out. It's not about the content. It's about your platform and your brand and how you're positioning it. Because, like I said, I was here and I saw probably 100 people or so that all shoved press releases and books in my hand. And when I looked at them, there were only a few that really stood out. The ones that I really thought that should have probably had a little bit more going for them, but it just didn't click. Now, where they were at the National Publicity Summit, and basically they got to meet a room full of publicists, producers, journalists, and things like that from different various places, radio and TV stations. And basically, we would just kind of give them a once-over, and people really do. They only give you like about 4 or 5 seconds. And they look at it, and they decide whether you're going to be a fit for their medium or not. But the main thing they're going to do is Google you to see, because if you're going to come on their station or take up their space or in their magazine or newspaper, they want to know that you will bring eyeballs or ears to their audience. That's what they care about. They're not trying to make you famous. They're not trying to share your message. What they want to do is they want to stay in business by having the largest audience. So if you bring your audience to them, that's a good thing. I know that sounds kind of cruel, like, oh, it's all about the book. Well, if you have a fabulous book, you should have been blogging it and have a tribe of people that really love it, and then they are the ones that really are like the evangelists for you and tell other people, and then you become a sensation. Then they come knocking on your door.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's really, blogs can be your own newspaper. They could be your own magazine. YouTube could be your TV station. Blog Talk Radio could be your radio. Media is good, but we can go direct to the consumer now. And that's really the whole point of really branding Superstar University. It's like, but you've got to know how to position and market yourself direct to the consumer. So the gatekeepers are gone, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But the gatekeepers are also looking to see what tribe you are really cooking up and what do you have going on online.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I will recommend for, and we're heading up now, a couple of books. These are some really good books. For those that are in ministry, it's a book called The iChurch Method. You know, there's an iPod and there's an iPad and there's an iPhone. Well, this is called The iChurch Method. And one is How to Advance Your Ministry Online. A really, really instructional book, like how to set up a Twitter, how to set up, it's just really like how to do it. And then the other, The iChurch Method, is Changing the World When You Log In. And Jason Caston, Caston, does a lot of the work with Bishop T.D. Jakes. So Jason, I'm going to have him on Brand Superstar University, talk about these books, but you should probably get them beforehand. They're thick books. Really, really juicy. So it has pictures in them as well. In case you don't understand what he's talking about, they'll have some pictures in there to show you how to do what he's talking about. So that really helps because some people are visual and they actually need to see screenshots and that sort of thing. So that would be a really good book for those that feel technically challenged, because we've got to learn how to change the world, how to advance your ministries online. Your career is your ministry. It is what you do. It is your mission. So all of that. He also wrote another book, How to Get 1 Million Social Media Fans, Take Your Social Media to the Next Level. So we're going to have him on as well. But I do want to say go to Amazon. I read a lot of books, but there's very few that I actually would promote. I like to promote a lot of my colleagues or my clients, a lot of authors that I know that are really just coming on the scene and really have done really good jobs with the book. Dr. Lorraine's book, Thank You Everyone, made number 3. I'm in her category on Amazon.com, so that was really, really cool. The book was called Fit, Fine, and Fabulous in Career, Business, and Life. And it's a fabulous book. It really, really is. It is one of those books that's like, wow, I got to really just carry this around with me. It's dog-eared and that sort of thing. But those are the things in terms of like how to go from startup to star. Everyone that I know that, quote-unquote, became an overnight success, or they actually were a success, they were readers, all right? There's never anything that, quote-unquote, stumped them that they couldn't find a book about it, or find a group about it, or find a person that can actually help them with it. So they were determined. They were relentless. When I first started out really podcasting and blogging and doing a lot of videos, actually I started doing videos when actually I was in another business, and I actually had to demonstrate how this particular product worked, and that's when I started doing the videos. And once I looked up, I had like 300 videos later. I'm like, wow. But sometimes you could do videos. I use a little video editing service that I love. It's called OneTrueMedia.com. If you have an iPhone or if you have a digital camera, if you want to do a video, go to OneTrueMedia.com, and you can add music behind it. You can add fades in it. It's so simple. Even a child can do it. So that's just something that you could do. But I would suggest making sure that you use those branding elements. Be really strong with those. Don't chintz on them. Making sure they're consistent. And then don't overcomplicate it. That's really the main thing. Make sure that you know your vision, and that you are following a plan, and that you are implementing your action plan, and you have that blueprint down. And that is so, so key. Having that vision board, I have mine right in front of me. I look at it every single day, and it really helps guide me. And I have scriptures in front of me as well, but you've got to have something that you know that you can share inside of you. So having that vision and actually taking it to the next step. One last thing, don't worry about the technology. Don't worry about all of that. Get in the content mindset and market that. You are content. Making sure you're using email, making sure you're blogging, shooting videos, interviewing your customers, repurposing content, sharing lessons, sharing sermons, sharing speeches, sharing PowerPoint. We are in the information age. If you feel overwhelmed, I did this and I told this to some clients before, get a blog then and put those information that you have, really good emails, and make those into other blog posts. And that could just be the blog where it's your personal blog where you could just capture everything on that blog. And you can make it private or you can make it public, but you're putting it all on the blog. All right? But don't feel like you've got to complicate this thing. You are just knowing that you are a walking content. If you're in business, you are an expert in an area. People pay you for your expertise. There has to be something that you can share that people will pay you for. All right, but they have to know that, and the only way they'll know that is if you communicate with them on a regular. All right. So that is it for this evening, for this Tuesday. Brandon Superstar University is a little different tonight, but I came back from all these conferences, and I just really felt really full to share and want to make sure that everybody just read that poem, Our Deepest Fear. All right, so you put that in Google and they'll show up. So that's it. If there's no other questions or anything, I will say good night. God bless.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.